Hey guys, something a little bit different today. Going to be going over revolver reloads, but also we're going to start talking about purposeful practice, starting to think about yourself more as a tactical athlete and training as such, as opposed to somebody who goes to the range occasionally, right? So we're going to talk about how to set goals, how to know when you're achieving those goals, how to keep setting new ones, and again, like trying to train like an athlete, and the specific endeavor, instead of being sport driven, is going to be um, defense driven, right? So we are going to start off the series with revolver reloads. Okay. Once we get through the skills portion, we will talk about hypotheticals and philosophy of use for the revolver briefly, but we'll get into the hard stuff first. So we've got a couple of different reloading devices here. We've got a Bianchi speed strip, as well as HKS speed reloader, and we've got a K-frame Smith & Wesson here. So we've got two different ways to reload this in addition to the devices, but the actual manual of arms. We are either going to do it with our dominant hand or with our weak hand. Now, I prefer, like the way that I run auto pistols, okay, is to keep my dominant hand on the pistol and then do all my reloading with my left hand. And we'll talk about the alternative there too. Okay, so we'll start off with the speed reloader. Excuse me. We'll start off with the speed strip. I am going to take the cylinder latch here. Okay, I'm going to push it forward with my thumb, and I'm going to point the muzzle to the sky using my left hand to knock the rounds out with the ejector. Okay, and then I'll reload again using my left hand. So we're just sky. Okay, kicking the cylinder out. Okay, letting everything fall forward. Hit that ejector just to make sure that everything falls out. Now I'm going to point the gun towards the ground. Okay, and I'm going to reload 2x2. Reloading this with the speed reload, with the speed strip. I need to stop saying that. Okay, and we're going to close it. Okay, so relatively straightforward with that one. The alternative method here would be to, again, I'm going to eject the cylinder. Okay, and then as I do that, I'm going to take my finger and get in the frame. Like, let's see if I can line that up. Okay, get my frame in, my finger inside of the frame. Okay, I'm going to turn the muzzle upwards. Okay, I'm going to use my thumb to eject. Okay, I would have my speed reloader staged on my right hand side. I'm going to be using my dominant hand. Okay, letting that speed loader fall and closing it up like that. Okay, so both of them pretty straightforward. It definitely takes some practice because we are doing two different things with either hand. And the reloading implements require more fine motor skills than probably what we're used to with auto pistols. Okay, so had the request for like, hey, how do I do this? And to be honest with you, my response was, hey man, don't worry about it so much. And let me explain that. So let's back all the way up to why are we doing revolvers? Why are we spending time reloading? I would recommend that you should check out Immediate Action Combatives blog by Cecil Burch. He is a ShivWorks guy, and he has done a series of articles on why revolvers have some pretty good benefits, and I recommend that series. Cecil is a dude, so if you are interested in this type of thing, definitely check out what he has to say about it. In my mind, I think revolvers are great for people who are new to this, who are maybe not like in the lane that I and probably you as a viewer of a YouTube video about reloading revolvers are, and that we're like, hey, we're hobbyists, we're into this type of stuff. Daryl Bulkey will talk about folks like this, and like they treat guns like fire extinguishers. Like they're not super excited about fighting fires, but they realize that they probably need one. Revolvers are really good at shoving them in a sock drawer and leaving them there for a couple of decades and then pulling them out, and they work still. Auto pistols less so. Also, if you're getting into CCW and maybe you're apprehensive about getting a Glock or something with a sub 5-pound trigger and carrying an appendix, but you're comfortable with a revolver, maybe you're, hey, I don't like carrying with a round in the chamber. If you're one of those people, you're wrong, but I can understand that emotional state. If you're comfortable with a revolver, it makes way more sense. I would rather have a revolver appendix than a Glock at 3 o'clock without a round in the pipe by a wide margin. Now, I don't put a lot of stress on myself to get really good reloading for a couple of different reasons. One, if you ever watched any of the active self-protection videos on YouTube, hundreds and hundreds of civilian gunfights and violent encounters. I think I've maybe seen one where somebody had the inclination and time to reload. These guns, and again, I'm quoting Daryl Bulkey here, these guns are to get a civilian out of the situation that they're in, not to go where the problem is, right? So I'm not worried about like maintaining continuity of fire or anything like this. I am using these to break contact and get away, and 5, 6, 7 rounds is very likely going to be able to do that. I will occasionally carry a reload when I'm carrying a revolver. By far, the most effective reload is going to be second revolver, right? New York reload, J-frame in your pocket is about, when we look at the actual practical size of width and the way that space gets taken up on our body, a J-frame is not really that much bigger than a speed reload for a J-frame. So something to kind of keep in mind. I demoed the speed strips. I usually carry one. If I were to carry one, it would be in this belt-mounted pouch. You know, they tend to require, again, fine motor skills. They tend to make noise when you're moving around. And really difficult to reload, say, while you're moving, okay, with your head down. Moving with your head down at your feet, looking at the revolver is pretty challenging. Running with your head up and trying to reload a revolver while your head's up and scanning, pretty challenging. Tough to do those two things at once. Now, should you know how to reload a pistol? Of course. Should I spend a ton of time, both dry and live fire, doing that? Maybe not. Maybe I can incorporate it, and that's ultimately like where we're gonna kind of talk about, and to me the main idea of this whole video. I want you guys to be able to reload revolvers. Revolvers are awesome, but at the same time, I don't have to make it its own separate thing, right? So the way I reloaded here is not how I would recommend going to the range, right? I took a speed loader off the table and reloaded it. A lot of times I'll see people at the range shooting revolvers, and they're literally reloading out of the box that the cartridges came from in the store directly into the revolver. That's a waste of time. That's a wasted opportunity to practice reload. Anytime I'm doing a reload, I prefer to reload from my primary reload position on my body, right? And I don't have to be, that doesn't have to be part of the drill too, right? So I can, whatever drill I'm going to do, say I'm going to do, I'm just going to do an up drill with a revolver, right? I'll do that up drill 6 times. Then when it's time to reload, I will reload as if it was for real, right? I'm gonna whichever way I'm going to reload. So I'm gonna keep master hand. I'm gonna reach down where I'm carrying that. I'm gonna reload that. I'm just setting up the next up drill. Okay, it's not for time or anything like that. But anytime that I'm reloading administratively, kind of artificially, I'm wasting an opportunity to get that rep. Now I do want to, especially with revolvers, I do want to get the time practicing that dry, and make sure I've got that down relatively well. But ultimately, like if I'm going to the range and I'm going to shoot 200 rounds, hey man, like that's 40 reloads. I don't know if that math is right, but you get what I'm saying. Incorporate it into your training. Don't waste opportunities to train. Get the reps, but we don't have to focus on things that are relatively far down the list of things that we want to get good at, right? Again, as a civilian, I'm trying to get away from problems. I'm not trying to interject myself into problems. I would much rather somebody with an hour on the range practice drawing and getting a good first round hit than doing a 1 reload 1 with a revolver. One is significantly more likely to be important in a life or death encounter, and ultimately, like that's what we're trying to prepare for, right? So again, guys, we're going to talk about more purposeful practice, how to get better, more efficiently, how to measure progress, and ultimately how to improve and not just spend time on the range having a good time. We can do that and get more proficient at the same time. So questions, comments, if you think I'm totally wrong about revolvers or notice something that I did wrong, hit me up in the comments and let me know. Thanks, guys.